This is Bishop Turner of the Seed of Abraham. I got Brother Maurice here. What is your company, Maurice?
HM,
You got,
sell.
what do you do in your company?
I'm a salesman.
He's a salesman. I think one of the things that I found out with the transition of Trump to Obama from Democrat to Republican, I feel Obama had come far as he could go because under his 8 years, is more blacks being killed all over the country. And it's like right now in Chicago, we had over 1,000 people killed in 2016. And right now we're getting ready to go forward for a new administration, Trump. And I see Trump bringing business into America. But I want whoever the Attorney General is to continue to investigate Chicago and the police department because Loretta Lynn is over the justice department, but she don't have enough time because the administration finna change. And I said, what we need here in Chicago, and we cannot get a handle on the crime in Chicago, we need to bring in the National Guard, like we did in Birmingham, like we did in Little Rock, Arkansas, because the killings got to stop. And one of the things I'm saying today, if we bring in the National Guard in Woodlawn, Inglewood, that we'll get some closure. It's too many families. Over 1,000 families have lost loved ones by shooting, drive-by, and seems like the Chicago police cannot find it. I don't want to get a blackwash with Loretta Lynn and Obama and Ron Mannion because the chief that they put out, they have not interviewed him. And what I'm saying, 911 have to work for all the citizens of America. That's one thing. The other thing is economic development in Chicago need to take place in our neighborhood and our community. And if you got a business, your business is supposed to do better under this administration. So what we're looking for now, more jobs for people in the city of Chicago and around this country, and we want transparency everywhere we go. I got brother Maurice here. He got a businessman, and he know what's going on. And I want to ask him, as we go in Mississippi, Arkansas, wherever we see you at, we're talking about jobs all over the country. We're talking about breakthrough all over this country. Mississippi, Arkansas, Louisiana, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. It's some things going on that the president did not address the rising crime here in Chicago, and also the deal with the problem that we have with diseases. Most of our community, black and Hispanic, is caught up with lots of AIDS and syphilis with our young folk. And we got to have somebody at the top of that can address that question about the disease that's coming into America that overtaking our children. And I want Brother Maurice to talk about the job thing, what he think about the police department. Now, this is my suggestion, and if you feel that, call the black radio stations, call all the stations. So we need in Chicago, if you had somebody was killed or shot in Chicago, I want you to call the Justice Department, whoever get in. So we need National Guards in Chicago because the mayor is not going to say we need him. The governor is not going to say we need him. We go directly to the new elect president and ask for National Guard on the streets of Chicago so we can get a handle on what's going on. We got policemen, got people in jail, trumped up charges. We got people that been terrorized in the police stations, and that some been killed on the street by officers of the police department. So the investigation got to go real deep. It got to go back about 20 years back when the gang members and the Mark Clark, Fred Hampton. No, it goes back. And I'm asking Bobby Rush, who was a Black Panther once in his life, to ask for investigation. I'm asking for Danny Davis, black, who was a school teacher in Alderman, to come in and ask for investigation more. They being Democrat, join with the Republican and finish this investigation where the citizens can walk safe, our children and women can be saved in the city of Chicago. It's unacceptable with a thousand killings. And right now, this is the first of the year. This is the 12th. This is the 12th day of 2017, and we got 50 murders already. It's unacceptable. We need some help. Brother Maurice, you can have your say.
Yeah,
Talk loud.
Maurice Huntley, and we have a lot of issues here in the city of Chicago. And like Bishop was just saying, that we need a guard to come in here and try to help straighten out these issues here in Chicago. Because things is not getting any better, it's steady getting worse and worse. So I think that things should come to an end. But somebody need to come in here and do something for Chicago. For Chicago, which we are having a problem all over the United States, you know. But Chicago is one of the biggest issues here that really people are going out, people sticking out mail trucks, mail carriers, getting all hell
Out of control.
Yeah, all this is out of control at this moment. And I think that we have the president coming in now.
New elect.
And I believe in my heart that he will be doing much better job than some of the rest of them here. And I think that they will he could get some going where someone could listen to him. And I think after he get in office, I believe he's going to be a good president. This is my issue.
Well, Brother Maurice, I want to say this to you and you out there, and especially citizens in Illinois, Chicago. With the murder in Chicago and Detroit, we have to call in the federal troops and take charge of the police department because they're not catching the criminals. Mail trucks getting robbed, FedEx truck. We know that this don't have to be. We know that our young children are being taken at school, raped, killed, set on fire, and nobody is being locked up for it. I'm calling on the new president-elect to send troops to Chicago, not money, not get 100 new police, send the National Guard on every corner so we can solve the problem, till the police department can do its job catching these criminals, locking them up, and it ain't happening. There's a lot of talk going on, but people are still being killed. Women are being killed, men are being shot here in Chicago. And it's not black on black, not brown on brown. This is happening all over the city of Chicago. So we need help. And I want the congressmen and those that see us call the president, call the White House, tell them we need National Guard here in Chicago to fight this crime that's going on in the city of Chicago. And we're here talking about black businessmen need more jobs. We're talking about Chrysler, Ford, and General Motors to set up companies and training programs for our young folks to get jobs in this city of Chicago. It's an emergency right now. It's an emergency right here in Chicago with the murder, the killing of senior citizens, the killing of people being hurt. So that's what's happening. It's important that the new president that come be important for him to come to Chicago and say that we're going to bring in the federal troops until we can stop the murder that's going. The highest murder in the country is in Chicago. I'm glad to see the young man that's come in, and we're getting ready to do that. So it's very important to understand where we at today. Citizens, ministers, civil rights leaders, call, get involved, get engaged, tell your pastors to get engaged, tell your politicians to get engaged. We got to stop this killing in Chicago. And the first step, this is what happened in Little Rock, Arkansas. They wouldn't let black people go to school. They brought the National Guard in. So we need to bring the National Guard in Chicago where our children can be safe coming from school, our women can be safe going shopping in the store. And I call up on the new Congress, I call up on the new Senate to take heed and let's work together to clean up Chicago. If we can clean up Chicago, we can clean up any other city in America. And I feel that we can do that. And I know if we work together today, we can start asking for help right now. As the new president is elected, going in office, I want every citizen, and I want to thank some of the leaders, some of the leaders that have been fighting, some of the college kids, university kids, been fighting, and we've been fighting for, we want troops in the city of Chicago. We want to open up doors for the city of Chicago. I got citizens looking for closure, and you got 1,000 families, mothers lost their sons and their daughters here in Chicago. You got people is afraid to come to Chicago because so much violence in Chicago, and we know this don't have to be. In the spirit of Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday coming up, in the spirit of the Kennedys, in the spirit of America, we can stop the killing in Chicago. We need some help from the federal government, and what we need, troops on every corner, and till we get till we can get the police department to begin to investigate, to begin to arrest, begin to catch these killers that's walking among us, and it's happening every day, 4, 5 killings. And why that gun coming off the railroad that the police give the street people that boxcar full of guns, and guns are freely in Chicago, in Detroit, in Indianapolis, Indiana, in Minnesota. You can get guns better than you can go get a cup of coffee. So it's important for us to come together and solve this problem. I want to thank Father Frager doing a fabulous job with the families. I'm praying for him. I'm working along with him. Whatever he needs me to do, the Dr. King movement, see Abraham, and the black businessmen of Chicago, and we're asking them to join in with us, and we begin to ask for troops to come in. We don't need 100 new policemen. We need the federal troops to come in to work with these policemen that's already here, that's covering up the crime, not stopping the crime. I got Brother Maurice in here to talk about the economics of business people now, that we need more business in the black and Hispanic community. Okay.
Yes, thank you, Bishop. Yes, we do need more jobs here in Chicago. And actually, not only Chicago, we need it really all over America. Because people here, it's a big issue here in Chicago and other cities like I said, Detroit and
Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio. We can say actually really all over.
All over America.
Right, all over America. And I think after this guy get into the being the president, I believe that in my heart, I believe that he was going to try to do the right thing for the people, for the America. A lot of people sort of down on him and think that he's not going to, but I think what we should do, wait and give him a chance to see what he's going to do. Because, you know, my business is pretty good, but it could be better, you know. And I think it's going to work out much better because we need a job here. Once people get a job, they can start spending money. And then actually, Chicago has been a big issue for business. So ran a lot of, left the city of Chicago, went to other cities and things. But I remember back in the 60s in Chicago here, job was really good. If you get without a job, you would just walk off the streets and get another job. And I think it's headed back that way. Because we can stop a lot of these jobs and going overseas and bring their goods back here to America. Mm-hmm. Now, American, this instant what I'm thinking about, this is what I'm thinking about. If you had a job here, a business, and they want to charge a lot of head taxes, if they were to just do, let's say, well, I'm going to Illinois here, Chicago, they want to put a business here. I don't think that you really should charge them any taxes.
because they're trying to. I feel that a new business coming to town and it's gonna hire 1,000 or 2,000 people. It need to have some kind of tax where that company can come in because it's helping the community. But the politicians that drain most of these companies, they're running away from Chicago, away from Indiana, because of the tax base. And most companies want to go to Hawaii, they want to go to Mexico, they want to go to India, they want to go to Russia, everywhere. But we got to take and begin to find an issue here, because it's very important. Many people have left Detroit because of jobs. Many people have left Chicago because the mayor of this city is running them out of town with high taxes, with the cameras, all kind of schemes to get money, but ain't creating no job for people. And we're talking about citizens that pay tax, that's here in America, that's not getting a fair shake. And I feel that the new administration will give people a fair shake in what's going on. Jobs. We need jobs in Chicago. All the killing and the police ain't catching nobody. We need the National Guard to come to Inglewood, to Lawndale, in this community and catch the. You tell me the police out there 24 hours, they can't catch a drive-by? You got cameras up everywhere, they ain't trying to catch them. So if we bring the National Guard in, like they did down they did it in Little Rock, they did it down in Alabama, they did it in Mississippi, and they can do it here in Chicago. And we can stop this crime where people can live safe and won't be scared to come out at night because of the thugs. And the thugs that doing that need to be locked up and put in jail, and that's what needs to happen. And whoever gets to be over the Justice Department, I'm going to call them for a meeting and to meet with them to see can we get together and begin this investigation, because this investigation, the corruption in Chicago go back. You can't investigate 1 month or 2 months and say you come to. It's too corruption. It's too many going out live. You talking about the judges. You talking about the politicians. You talking about City Hall is in the corruption. Police shoot somebody 16 times. Ain't nobody in jail yet. You got 13 police see and they all lie. That's deep corruption. And the Justice Department, I don't want to get a blackwash, because ain't no way the Justice Department can come in 2 months and say what's going on. When you got people in prison for life and ain't did none of it. You got people that been set up by the police department, by the state police department. So when you got that kind of violence going on, it's worse than Hitler. It's worse than when Hitler was burning people up. It's worse than slavery, when people were being harmed in Mississippi, Georgia, and Indiana. Everybody turning their head, don't see it. We have to wake up and ask the federal government to come in and solve this problem. This what the UN said. He said, the UN said, we got a problem in the city of Chicago that black males all over America being shot under Obama watch. Now, under Trump watch, we got to bring the troops in and stop the killing. This is the most important thing got to take place. And business, if you got a business, it got to be, the tax got to tuck up in your business till you can get on your feet, or you can hire people. The poor and Moscow are suffering. You know, in our community, we need more businesses. We need government loans. We need some kind of reparation to help grow our business.
All right.
Go ahead on.
When I was looking at the business of Chicago about the taxes and stuff, what I was saying earlier, I would think that if they bring the factors in here and let these people that coming into the city working, and they gonna spend money here in Chicago, in the state of Illinois. That means that if they could come here and let them come in here and run, what would it hurt them to do this and let the people run their business? Because we gonna buy the goods. That means that if you got a business here, that means that this company this city going to make money still, taxes, because people spending money into the city, because they're coming from another little town, they got to buy gas, or either they got to buy food here. Taxes is being spent, either way you look at it. And that's the way I see it.
Well, I want to sum this up this morning, whatever it might be, that we bringing it to you straight from the horse's mouth. We're talking about what's going on in the ghetto, what's going on in Harlem. Now, Chicago got more killing than New York, than Los Angeles, all over. And what I'm saying, this is the 12th month of the year that we need to get on the telephone, call a friend, call a neighbor, become involved, become focused, and ask what can I do, and stop looking at the party, look at what you can do to save your community, what you can do to save the sisters and brothers, and see what we can come together as all people together and come out and get rid of the violence and the no justice, no peace, and bring justice and equality back to all our citizens in America. That's what we asked them, and that's what we will be doing.